I haven't lived as long as I have here in America, and having paid attention to my surroundings, I have concluded that here in America, the way we operate and the way we as a people respond to one another is a reflection of a people who have no relationship, no reality with the true God. Not that they haven't replaced the God, but the true God they have no knowledge of. I think about it as I look at America today, and America is just a small representation of the rest of the world. It's like a rock amongst rocks, so that we are just probably alike, made out of the same stuff, just different locations. Godless. I think about the history that we were given about America. The people usually come from other countries, running from what they themselves detest and yet bring with them to every place they go. I'm reminded of the war that was fought against the homeland, they called it, which was in itself a representation of its respect and honor for its God. As I think about the story as it goes, I'm reminded, if it is true, that the natives of this land, those who had dwelled here for however long, we don't know really, and called this place God sent, were invaded by a people who they befriended, who they shared their character and received a different character. For the character that was expressed is the one that killed them, beat them, drove them from their lands, and took the lands as their own. And their God that gave them the power to be able to manipulate and to control these people in such the way that they did was the gun. Not the bow and arrow, not the slingshot, the gun. And I'm not stuck there, for it didn't stop. The same people, my friends, that came from this other country to this country, that took their guns and beat down and stole the natives' land as their own land, also decided that it was to their advantage, to their heavenliness, to their superiorityness, to take a group of people, to break them down, to beat them, to do anything that they would do to any animal. In fact, call these animals perhaps a little bit more dignified, a little bit more educated. They could hear and speak, though not the language in the beginning. They could learn the language and also learn whatever they're supposed to know, learn what they're supposed to do. And amongst all of the learning that they got the learning of a God that these didn't have. A God that was superior that accepted and made people slaves, and even told slaves how to act, and told masters how to act, but who tell a master how to master? Yes, they took the gun here again and turned people into animals. A reflection of their character, a reflection of their God. So you saw America. Yes, and it's God. The gun, the power that forced the ignorant people to be obedient. And they heard that a government was established, a nation was established, and I think I heard that they came up with a constitution that basically solidified what this nation would be like. A constitution, my friend. And in the operations of that constitution, they established various departments within the system. One I'm thinking about right now is the Supreme Court. It's the Supreme Court, the highest court of the land. The highest court of the land. No rules and regulations that were to govern it. It was to be free. Why? Because it's the law of the land, the government of the land, the operator of the land, government, the Supreme Court. But what was its true role? To protect the interest of the people, the superior people, the white people. They didn't stop there. They got Congress, gave them different positions of power and responsibilities. But who and what were they supposed to serve? The system. They were a part of it, and it was to benefit the white man. You see, by now, it has been established that to all other men, the white man is a representation of God. They even put his picture in a book, or put a picture in a book so you can see it. And they had already explained it to the people in such a way that they knew what was there. And they had been beaten to accept or punished to the degree that they yield. And that was a practice throughout the land from then until today. In America, with a evil voice, I wished I could call out some other names, but the number one figure in America, the voice that wants to be known as the number one voice, is Donald Trump. And the only thing that he espouses is evil. The message of the devil from the corners of hell. Hatred, racism, bigotry, superiority, God. And all of those who walk in the same tracks that he makes. Straight from that place of ill repute. But now, what about the rest of the people who don't love and trip over the man? It doesn't matter. The man is just a part in time. But the evil of America, which was in its beginning, has never left. Some might say, well, we go to church doesn't mean anything. Everybody go to church. And every church says that the system that we have today is okay. Okay to the degree that you leave it alone, or you don't raise in the sand. You just go along with it. That's the way of the system. That's the way of the God direction for this system. And all the people follow it. And when you get out of line, the method is punishment. Always have been punishment and death. This is the expression of the God of America. This is the expression of the God of the world. It doesn't matter that you humble yourselves and prostrate yourselves out before the sun or the moon. It's all for naught. The truth is, these are representations of the anti-God. You say you looked for the anti-God. You wait for the prophecy to say, where is the anti-God? The anti-God is you. All of you. Together, you're one. And the destruction of the world is by you, the one. But the purpose for this particular message is to say to you that irregardless of what you have been taught, and you have been taught, I know you've been taught without doubt, there truly is a God. And all of the problems that you have been directed to understand and perceive as problems, and all of the ugly things that you have determined must be eradicated, all of that stuff that would clear a path for you to reap the angelics in this earth as though you were connected with something else. But I want you to know, the message is, the Spirit wants you to know that there is truly a God. There really is a God. You know, the other day, many of us never perceived of artificial intelligence.